It's a lot of fun to fight them, you know. It's a hell of a hoot. It's fun to shoot some people.
Not a man to waste words or mince them at all, right, for that matter. Retired Marine Corps General James Mad Dog Mattis, he is the man that Donald Trump has picked to shape our future as a military Secretary of Defense. Now want to discuss with Michael Pregent, bringing back Jessie Jane Duff. Michael, let me just ask you right out the gate, your thoughts on this election. I have seen very little pushback against this pick.
Thanks for having me. I think this is a pick that I think even Hillary Clinton would have considered. General Mattis sends a strong message to Iran and Putin that U.S. engagement in the Middle East and North Africa is about to change. I think everybody's very happy with the selection. They know this is a well-thought-out man who knows not to put the military at risk unless you're actually going to use them to win. So I'm very happy with the selection.
Does his selection dovetail with Donald Trump's rhetoric on the campaign trail? Because it sounded like Donald Trump was going to be very, very loath to actually engage in much fighting outside of destroying ISIS.
The thing is about General Mattis and also with the selection of General Flynn is they're not yes men. They push back against their commander-in-chief. They push back against President Obama, and they're likely to do the same with Trump if they disagree with him. They're likely, well, Mattis is going to offer sound advice to Trump, and I think that the selection to be able to put him in there, a guy who's not considered a yes man, is a great asset for a commander-in-chief.
Jessie Jane, we know there might be some rumblings. He was involved with this company called Theranos that turns out maybe perhaps to be a scam and doesn't look too good. And, of course, there's the thing, he's got to get the waiver and his position on women in combat, which is something you're very passionate about.
I think he would be an ideal choice. The fact of the matter is he's come out and been very vocal about women fighting in ground combat. The fact of the matter is we have no evidence that it will sustain our forces, let alone maintain combat readiness. And it's always those who have never had their boots on the ground fighting with the infantry that advocate for this, such as Senator Gillibrand, who said she cannot give him a waiver. Well, Senator Gillibrand is just afraid that her social engineering of our United States military is going to be dismantled under this man. All of the lactation stations are going to be removed from the Army field offices. They're going to ensure that we don't have transgenders that are going to be getting surgeries and non-deployable. She's upset that women will not be able to go fight ISIS in hand-to-hand combat. I'm sorry, the lunacy has come to a stop. The liberals are terrified because they wanted to make our military a social services agency where everybody could just go get a job and be happy. That's not what the military is for.
Michael, let's talk about what the military will be for under President-elect Trump and the team that he's surrounding himself with. We've got some serious issues brewing. I think China, Japan, and that whole area is going to be ugly at some point. I'm looking for an arms race to really heat up there. Of course, you know about the Middle East, and then you've got the nutcase in North Korea. And we've got some issues where we may have to step up to the plate.
Well, the good thing about this is we're going to have a team that's actually going to be able to provide the commanders on the ground with what they need. The intelligence assets, the proper special forces, operators, both advisors and operators. So that's a good thing. You're also going to have experts that are going to be able to weigh in on North Korea, to weigh in on Iran, to weigh in on the geopolitical threats that face this country.
But what if they call our bluff, Michael? They've had 8 years of feckless leadership,
yes,
and they're not intimidated by Barack Obama. At some point, they're going to test Donald Trump, won't they?
They're going to test Donald Trump, and I do believe that when Iranian boats come towards U.S. Carrier group in the Persian Gulf, they're going to do something.
Jessie Jane, you feel the same way?
Anything.
I feel that General Mattis is just going to be a no-nonsense kind of guy. He's going to lay the law, and they're going to have to follow or abide. Because the fact of the matter is he's going to restore our military. We right now have been depreciated to levels that are below World War II. Yeah. And he's not going to allow our military to be used as pawns. Right. I heard from some Marines today that basically told me he has restored their faith in the military. We lost Iraq, and they suffered for that. And he's going to redeem what we have lost.
I agree with you 1,000%. We've got to rebuild the military, not just the military assets, but the men and women out there who put their lives on the line for us. And
exactly.
Guys, thank you both very much.